Ahead on 12 News, ready, set, stink. The race in Brooklyn Park where getting dirty is a must. Plus, a local company's banner year for exports.
Growth for us in exports means growth at home.
But first, arrested again. A Plymouth woman who served time for a deadly hit and run is now arrested for another alleged DWI. 12 News starts right now. 22-year-old Taylor Holman admits she violated probation for a deadly hit and run.
The Plymouth woman appeared in court today accused of driving drunk in Golden Valley. Holman was arrested September 15th. Preliminary tests showed her blood alcohol level was more than twice the legal limit. Renee Bonneau was in court today as Holman made her latest appearance, and Renee joins us now with more.
Mike and Alex, Taylor Holman did appear in court for both the DWI and for violating probation for the hit and run, but the judge will formally address both cases at a later date. Until then, the judge has ordered Holman to spend time in rehab, not jail. Heather Reimer was hoping for more prison time for the woman convicted of hitting and killing her husband Michael in March 2010, but was sorely disappointed.
It's the criminal justice system. It is not the victim's justice system.
Taylor Holman, who has a history of DWIs, landed back in jail about a week ago after she was arrested in Golden Valley with a blood alcohol level of .208, more than twice the legal limit. Before making a decision on whether to send Holman back to jail for violating probation, a judge is first sending her to Minnesota Teen Challenge, a drug and alcohol treatment center.
How many chances, how many more chances does she get before she has to, there's a consequence to her actions?
Holman will go through an 8-week program at Teen Challenge. She's due back in court on November 16th. At that time, the judge will address the Golden Valley DUI and check on Holman's progress in rehab. And Mike and Alex, that judge could send her back behind bars for the probation violation if that judge feels that the treatment isn't working.
All right, we'll wait and see. Thanks,
you. Renee. A nationwide arrest warrant is out for a Golden Valley man accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of perfume. Police identified Darnell Jackson in surveillance video. He and another suspect are accused of walking into a Walgreens in Apple Valley and stealing 36 bottles of perfume valued at $40 each. The theft adds up to nearly $1,400. Jackson's whereabouts are unknown.
Once a year, Brooklyn Park cops join kids for a day of fishing. Problem is, good fishing spots are limited in Brooklyn Park. In recent years, police have taken kids to a pond in Champlin, but that could soon change. A city team wants to create a fishing pond in Brooklyn Park, and Park and Rec officials think a pond in front of the Community Activity Center would be the perfect fit. The DNR has already approved stocking it with panfish.
Besides the Mississippi River, we don't really have a big body of water that the public can access for that opportunity. And so we think this will be a great opportunity for kids, seniors. I'm sure there'll be a lot of grandparents teaching their grandchildren how to fish.
Plans call for excavating the pond so it's deep enough for fish to survive the winter and building a fishing pier. Much of the cost would be covered by donations and grants. If the City Council approves, the pond could be ready to go by next summer. Many local companies are finding a growing market for their products overseas.
Exports from the metro area increased nearly 13% last year, growing to $26 billion. In today's Business Matters, we take a look at a Plymouth company that's seeing their business grow at home and around the world thanks to exports. On the manufacturing floor of Banner Engineering.
We run 24/7. Once in a while we'll shut down for a holiday. Not all the time, though.
The company runs around the clock to produce sensors and LED lighting components used in equipment around the world.
Our products are used in manufacturing, electronics, food and beverage, packaging.
Headquartered in Plymouth since 1966, about 40% of this local company's business now comes from exporting products overseas. That's a huge jump from 20 years ago when exports were just 4% of its business.
We followed growth in manufacturing to Brazil, to India, to China, to Korea. And so as manufacturing's growing around the world, we've followed that trend.
I think there's a lot of opportunities for companies that are smaller manufacturers. That's really our base, is manufacturing and mechanical equipment exports, and of course agriculture from Minnesota.
St. Thomas professor and tax advisor Mark Sellner recently made his first trip to China with the State Trade Office. He says business opportunities overseas are helping the local economy as companies grow to keep up with demand.
Sometimes there's a perception I'm taking U.S. jobs and moving them overseas, but what a lot of companies are doing is just expanding their existing business, and that's good for everybody.
That's the case at Banner Engineering.
As our products and our growth has grown all over the world, it's meant more jobs here at home.
Over the last year, the number of workers Banner employs in the U.S. has grown by 10%. And company officials don't expect that growth to slow down anytime soon.
Growth for us in exports means growth at home.
Banner Engineering has more than 1,000 employees worldwide. 375 of them work in Plymouth.
It's not a permanent replacement, but for the time being, a Maple Grove store has become a little spooky. The former Gander Mountain on Wedgwood Lane is now a Halloween superstore. After Halloween, the store will change again and become a consignment shop that offers clothing and other items for infants to teens. Well, still to come, we'll give you the dirt on a unique race that blends fitness and filth.
And later in sports, highlights from one of the nation's largest high school cross-country meets.
But first, your AccuWeather forecast.
Thousands of people descended on the Twin Cities corn maze in Brooklyn Park this weekend, but it wasn't to enjoy a cool fall day.
Instead, they tested their physical endurance while literally getting down and dirty. Here's Delane Cleveland.
Running a 5K takes a certain amount of will and physical conditioning.
Lord.
But this particular 5K had a rather muddy twist.
You can kind of go for a run any day of the week or any morning. You can go around a lake or something, which is fun, but this is a whole different kind of challenge and a whole different set of experiences. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Welcome to Mud Factor, a 5K through the Twin Cities corn maze that has participants climbing walls, scaling cargo nets, and crawling through pits of mud, all on a quest to reach the finish line and eventually wash themselves off. Brittany Carlson of RAMSEY recruited half a dozen friends to Saturday's event.
I don't know, it's fun. I can't run a regular 5K, so we figured why not add mud and obstacles and be really way more fun.
More than 3,000 people felt the same way, although the shivers were evident as the temperature hovered around 40 degrees.
Yeah, not gonna lie. We all considered bailing last night.
Yeah, this morning.
Yeah, and this morning. It's true. The pictures on the website were nice and sunny and tank tops and shorts. A little chilly.
Yeah, talk to event organizers and they'll tell you that it's neither the temperature nor the obstacles that present the biggest challenge.
The course itself, once you're here and the energy and the adrenaline's flowing, the whole crowd, the wave of 500 people, that's easy. That just flows and just feels natural. The hard part is actually getting off your couch and coming out and doing something outside your comfort zone.
Carlson and her friends did just that and managed to cross the finish line after taking an hour to navigate the course.
We lost some shoes. We lost some people. We found everybody, so we're good.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
This was the very first Mud Factor race in Brooklyn Park. Organizers plan to hold that event again next year. And I guess just bring on the laundry detergent.
Yeah,
Looks like a
right.
commercial for a laundry soap, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there were a lot of Facebook photos posted after that. Just a guess.
Well, coming up, a test that many kids wouldn't mind taking in Maple Grove.
Plus, how a New Hope man has created quite the buzz this year. But first in sports, Maple Grove scores a big win on the football field. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Kind of a unique homecoming for Cooper over the weekend. First of all, a game on Saturday, and that's unusual. And then they're playing a really good team this weekend, too.
You're supposed to schedule not a very good team for homecoming.
Yeah,
They didn't
what
do
do you
that.
want to win, right?
It's a tough opponent. Cooper played one of the biggest regular season games in recent school history at Saturday. The Hawks' title hopes in the North Suburban Conference were on the line as they faced another top contender, Spring Lake Park. Former NFL back Marion Barber III from Wayzata on hand for the action. First quarter of this one, the run by Spring Lake Park quarterback Austin Swenson. He's wrapped up and stripped of the ball by Cooper's Malik Rucker. Rucker runs it all the way back for an apparent touchdown, but there's a penalty against Cooper on the play. Touchdown is negated. Jared Evans rips off a nice run here for the Panthers. He's tackled inside the Cooper 10-yard line. It sets up a touchdown for a 12-0 Panthers lead. Opening kickoff of the second half, and Spring Lake Park fumbles. Cooper recovers, and then they cash in. Bryson Scott Birch to Lenzel Koskela for an 11-yard touchdown. Makes it 19-8 Spring Lake Park. Fourth quarter, Scott Birch hits Rucker in stride across the middle. Rucker takes it inside the Panthers' 10-yard line. Ashanti Payne caps the drive with a short touchdown run. The Hawks are within 26-16 after a two-point conversion. But the Panthers answer. Ejidama GE gets loose for a 66-yard touchdown sprint. He scores 4 times in all, and Spring Lake Park wins it 32-16. In the Northwest Suburban, Maple Grove is playing well so far. Only a close loss to rival Osseo keeps them from being undefeated. Maple Grove taking on Blaine in their first North Division game. It's mostly defense in the first half of this game. Alex Copa drops the snap, buried by Emmanuel Eric of the Crimson. Maple Grove has some great receivers, and Jake Winicky shines in this one. Blake Skya throws it up. Winicky gets it despite the double coverage as a 29-yard gain. It sets up the only points of the first half. Bryson Woida with a 24-yard field goal to put the Crimson up 3-0 at halftime. Early third quarter, Eric picks off the Copa pass, and he returns it to the Blaine 16-yard line, and it starts to turn the tide Maple Grove's way. The interception sets up a touchdown, play action, Skye to Winicky for the score, 10-0 Crimson early in the second half. Woida does it all, offense, defense, and special teams. Another field goal here, this one from 38 yards out, 13-0 Crimson. They go back to the air game, next time on offense. Winicky hangs on here for a 27-yard completion late in the third quarter. And that set up this play. They change ends for the fourth quarter. Jack Wallach burrows in for a 20-0 lead. Maple Grove wins 20-6. They are now 3-1. It was a runner's paradise. More than 5,000 cross-country runners in grades 7 through 12, including several teams from the Northwest suburbs, were in Malacca Saturday for the aptly named Malacca Mega Meet. The boys in Class 4A often running on their 5K course at Stones Throw Golf Course to the finish, and Stillwater's Wade Hall wins easily on a dominant day for the ponies. Jump ahead in the race, Maple Grove's Ryan Graham and Mitchell Dickerson are 22nd and 23rd. Armstrong's John Delaney and Nathan Comer finished 29th and 30th overall. Then to the girls' 4A race, Bemidji sophomore Jenna Trudson wins in a time of 14 minutes and 7 seconds. 10 seconds back in second place is Anna French of Wayzata. The Trojans' Anneke Halverson is 6th, and Elena Sonneson 10th overall. Kate Simonetta of Park Center finishes in 25th place. Here are the final team scores. The Wayzata girls win the 4A team title with 75 points. East Ridge is 2nd and Moorhead 3rd. Other local squads include Maple Grove in 8th, Armstrong in 9th, Park Center 11th, and Champlin Park 25th. On the boys' side, Stillwater wins easily, way ahead of runner-up Centennial and 3rd place Bemidji. Maple Grove is 6th, Armstrong 10th, Osseo 12th, Champlin Park 24th, and Park Center 26th. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks a lot, John. 2 candidates hoping to represent Maple Grove, Osseo, Dayton, and Rogers in the state Senate are talking about state spending and taxes.
Republican incumbent Warren Limmer faces DFL candidate Sharon Bahensky in the race for Senate District 34.
I'm Sharon Bahensky. Like you, I watch the news night after night and find myself frustrated and angry that politicians are so busy playing at politics instead of caring about the welfare of our state. They don't even see those in the middle struggling to stay afloat. Right here, we've seen our property taxes increase. Our schools are struggling to meet the needs of our children and grandchildren. That's why I'm running. We've seen enough games. We need solutions. I support finding long-term solutions to education funding that will ensure our kids get the education they deserve. I support finding budgetary solutions to take the burden off property taxes. If you choose to elect me, I will work to find common ground and common sense solutions. I'm Sharon Bahensky, and I ask for your vote.
Hi, my name is Warren Limmer, and I'm the current Republican state senator in the northwest suburbs of Maple Grove, Osseo, Dayton, and Rogers. What an exciting session we just had. We turned Minnesota's $6 billion deficit to nearly a $1.5 billion surplus, all without raising taxes. Looking forward, we need to continue building on these reforms with an immediate goal of growing jobs in our state. Simply put, we need to attract more business here. We have to remember a family's security comes from good jobs, not government programs. I'll continue to demand that government be limited, yet efficient, and always be the guardian of our civil liberties. It's been an honor to serve you. Thank you, and may God bless.
Up next, a labor of love that sometimes stings.
We'll meet a New Hope man whose hobby is a hive of activity.
Did you ever wonder why some toys become so popular?
At a Maple Grove toy store, it's not pure coincidence. Creative Kid Stuff is already looking ahead to the holidays. Over the weekend, it asked a handful of regular customers to come in, bring the kids, and try out new toys. Parents fill out evaluation forms that will help guide what toys you'll see on the shelves come Christmas time.
It's a lot of fun when you actually get direct quotes from the kids, like, I love this, or I would never play with this, and then we say, oh, okay, well, that doesn't seem like it's going to be a good hit if it's, if the kids are not interested in it.
Each toy is tested by more than 24 children to help the store get a feel for what could be hot this year. Of course, if you're a kid, it's never too early to try out some of those holiday toys.
Nope, why not?
And finally, a New Hope man who is like a honeybee encyclopedia.
Roger Olson co-owned Mellow Honey until it was sold 15 years ago. And since then, raising bees and bottling honey has been a sort of a hobby that he shares with his son, just like his father shared the business with him.
I started, working with the bees when I was just a little kid. I would ride in the truck with my dad driving. I was sitting in the middle and hired man on the other side. And we bumped down the gravel roads.
This summer, the Minnesota Honey Producers Association surprised Olson by naming him Beekeeper of the Year. Olson still spends a lot of time answering questions about bees, but says he'll never know everything about them. It was his dad who invented the honey bottle, which is shaped like a bear, and it's been copied a number of times. Roger says the best honey anywhere is Minnesota, the Dakotas, and Montana. You'll find the best honey made right there.
Sticking with him. That does it for us.
Have a good evening.